So the first study we'll talk about that proves that a raw diet is better for cats proves that raw is digested easier. So this was a study among kittens. So the kittens were fed this wet food and a properly balanced raw food. And I'm really glad that they actually balanced the raw food diet so that they can compare it properly. So it met all of AAFCO's guidelines for nutritional needs of growing kittens. They found that the raw diet had higher digestibility and a decrease in fecal matter. And I've seen this with Jericho as well. So he was previously eating wet food when he came to me, and then I slowly transitioned him to better and better quality food until I got to raw. Previously with wet food, the poops smell, there's a lot of them, but on raw, the poops are very small, they're well formed, and they don't smell at all. My best friend was sitting on the couch next to Jericho's litter box. Jericho went poops, and I said, hey, do you mind? I gotta go clean the box. He just went, and my friend said, I had no idea he even went. Also, when I worked as a cat sitter, I remember I would go into the home, and the cat had just pooped, and the smell would literally smack me in the face, like almost hit me on my back because it was so rancid. But with raw, decreased fecal matter, and it's also not stinky. Hey friends, it's Jess and Jericho. And in the study, they said that higher exposure to bacterial degradation products, pathogen exposure, or nutritional differences may have stimulated a more robust immune response in the raw fed group. And this is important because a lot of people, especially veterinarians, but just in general cat parents, when they think of raw, they say, ew, that's gross. What about bacteria? What about pathogens? But there's good bacteria and there's bad bacteria, and bacteria is in us, on us, and around us at all times. And you need the good bacteria because that's what helps regulate the bad bacteria. So I'm glad that they even pointed out that some bacteria exposure is good, and that can lead to better digestion and decreased fecal matter. And another important issue here that they raise is the robust immune response. And this is super important because nowadays there are so many cats that have allergies, IBD, all of these health issues, eating this commercial prepared diet that's highly processed, pressurized, and heated multiple times because it's extruded when you're talking about kibble. And then even canned food is highly processed because it's also cooked. But a raw diet is going to have all of that beneficial bacteria and enzymes in it that's going to help digest the food better. There was another study among sand cats, and they took dry food, kibble, and raw, and compared the digestibility of the two. So the digestibilities for the dry matter for raw were 83.5% with a plus or minus 4.8, and for kibble, 72.7 with a plus or minus 12.3. That's a big difference right there. So the kibble could be as high as raw because it's plus or minus 12, but it also could be as low as about 60%, whereas with raw, the lowest that it would be is 80. So that's a really big difference. Give me a polydactyl thumbs up if this is helpful so far, so more cat parents that want to feed their cats better can find this video. Thank you so much. For energy, raw had 89.6% with a plus or minus 5.2. Kibble was 76.8 with a plus or minus 14.5. So here we have another big gap. And for protein, it was 92.4 with a plus or minus 5.3 for raw, and for kibble, 77.9 with a plus or minus 13.5. So we have really big differences. Raw, the digestibility of the dry matter is extremely higher in all instances. Kibble is extremely lower, and there's also a much bigger gap when it comes to kibble. So yes, it could be as high as raw, but it could also be really, really low compared to raw. It could be 60% compared to 80% for raw. And that's really important because digestibility matters. How we assimilate our nutrients matters. I mean, our food is fuel for our body to run properly. Now, I hear you saying that your cat is too picky to eat raw, so you can check out my full transition guide right over Meow, specifically formulated for picky cats. Thanks for watching.